So friends, it looks like things are about to go from bad to worse for Donald Trump in his New York fraud trial. Because in the coming days, you know who's going to be placed under oath and examined and cross-examined about their business practices in New York? Don Jr., Eric, and yes, Ivanka. Let's talk about that. Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, the coming week in Donald Trump's New York fraud trial, he's on trial for having engaged in massive, systemic, years-long fraud. The coming week promises to be a barn burner because try as she might to convince Judge Engoron, the presiding judge, that she shouldn't have to testify, Ivanka Trump has been ordered to testify about her father's business practices, her brother's business practices, and her own business practices. Let's start with the new reporting. This from CNN. Headline, Ivanka Trump must testify at her father's civil fraud trial, judge rules. And that article begins, Ivanka Trump must testify at her father's New York civil fraud trial. The judge overseeing the case ruled on Friday. New York Judge Arthur Engoron denied a motion from Ivanka Trump's attorneys to quash, that means cancel or invalidate, quash a subpoena for her testimony, though he said her testimony should not be scheduled before Wednesday to give her time to appeal his ruling. Ivanka Trump's attorney had argued that she should not be forced to appear after an appellate court removed her as a defendant in the case. This quote from the judge, quote, Ms. Trump has clearly availed herself of the privilege of doing business in New York, Judge Engoron said. The judge also said Ivanka Trump should have submitted an affidavit asserting she does not live or work in the state presently. Quote, only she can tell us that, and it's too late to do that now, Judge Engoron said. Following his decision, Engoron quickly denied a follow-up request from Donald Trump's attorney, Chris Kise, to entertain a deposition from Ivanka Trump taken in Florida. We want her here in person, Engoron said, noting that he prefers to hear testimony live in court. Donald Trump's adult children are expected to be called to testify next week, and the former president could be called in to testify the week after that, the Attorney General's office said in court Friday. The Attorney General's team is nearing the end of the witness list for their case in the civil fraud trial of Trump and his co-defendants, including Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. So friends, do you really think there's a chance that Don Jr. and Eric and Ivanka can get through their sworn testimony without lying, without perjuring themselves? After all, they're going to be testifying about their business practices, their father's business practices, after Judge Engoron has already granted partial summary judgment. In other words, the judge has already found that there was massive business fraud committed by Donald Trump and others at the Trump Organization. And now Trump's adult children are going to be asked to testify about those business practices. You know, the Supreme Court has said that cross-examination is, quote, the greatest legal engine ever invented for the discovery of the truth, close quote. I mean, do you really think Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka are going to be able to withstand the rigors of examination and cross-examination? They are hostile witnesses. They will be cross-examined by New York Attorney General Letitia James' team. And what about Donald Trump himself? Do you really think when he takes that stand, he's sworn in as a witness, do you swear or affirm the evidence you shall give in the case now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Do you really think Donald Trump will testify accurately, credibly, truthfully. You know, not long ago, I saw what is probably the perfect depiction of Donald Trump and perjury. There it is. Open mouth, perjure yourself. You know, friends, when, not if, but when Donald Trump lies under oath in that New York courtroom, I sure hope he's held accountable. I don't know if he will be, but he sure should be. You know why? You know why. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.